Sage Wanderer here, and welcome to Political Soup. Today's political soup is definitely cat flavored. Don don don. So clearly, I'm talking about what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, or what is not going on in Springfield, Ohio. So I've been following this story about Haitian migrants kidnapping, killing, and eating cats, dogs, ducks, and geese. I've been following this story for about a month, and it was way at the bottom of my stack. I'm kind of like Alex Jones, where he has these piles of papers, and they're all in these big stacks laid out on his desk on stories he's working on. And this story for me was at the bottom of my stack. I found it interesting, but not necessarily relevant. And then a strange thing happened. Donald Trump talked about it at the debate with Kamala Harris. And so it's a story now that's just tearing up the alternative media. It's all over my YouTube feed. I don't know about yours. When Donald Trump made this statement during the debate, Kamala Harris is suddenly overwhelmed with this look of absolute disbelief. She thinks this is proof that Donald Trump is crazy. Haitian immigrants aren't eating dogs and cats, which just tells me that the AI algorithm of YouTube is doing its job, right? The reason why I was aware of this story and Donald Trump was aware of this story is because we share a common news feed, right? AI and the Google algorithm works to send you stuff that are related. So Kamala Harris's YouTube feed does not have any stories on Haitian immigrants because that's not what she's clicking on, right? And so that's so far away from her realm of knowledge that it seemed to her to be absolutely absurd. And a lot of people on the left who don't scour media like I do and like other people do and like Donald Trump does, they're going to think this story sounds absurd. And so there was this immediate blanket denial. The Haitians are not either kidnapping cats. It's fake information. It's false information. Part of that is normalcy bias. Part of it is cultural. And part of it is because they're not watching the same news stories we all are. And so I'm going to address this today, and I'm not going to ask whether Haitians are eating cats in Springfield, Ohio. I'm going to ask the question that nobody else is bothered to ask. Do Haitians eat cats? Don't. I don't just mean the ones in Springfield. I mean the ones in Haiti. I mean, do Haitians eat cats? Is it so far-fetched to think that a Haitian migrant might eat your cat? Well, it seems far-fetched to someone who has a normalcy bias and is used to our culture. But cats have been used for food all around the globe openly, every place else pretty much but Western Europe and the United States. That in the rest of the world, cats are seen as food. I'll give you an example of a fact that might freak you out. Guinea pigs are seen as pets. There's a reason that they're called guinea pigs, okay? That the guinea pig is the official food of Peru. That if you walk down the street in a Peruvian city and get some meat on a stick, it's guaranteed to be guinea pig. Now that freaks us all out because guinea pigs are an 8th grader's pet, right? They're a little kid's pet you keep in a cage. They're so cute. They make the squeaky noises. We would never think of eating a guinea pig. Plus we kind of see them as a rodent. But they're raised for food in Peru. So there are cultural differences concerning food. If you don't believe so, just look at some of these old travel shows, travel channels, where they go to foreign countries and they eat weird food that we would never eat. So do Haitians eat cats? Well, if you ask that question today on Google, you will get this blanket denial in all these articles about Haitians are not eating cats in Springfield. It's all made up. It's Donald Trump's fake news. What does he say? He's racist. But if you put in your search criteria to only recognize videos that were posted prior to, say, July of this year, then you will get lots of videos, some of them from food travel foodies, who have gone to Haiti and sat down for a meal of stewed cat and thought it tasted pretty good. See, Haitians, in fact, have a long history of eating cats. They actually have a religious holiday celebrated in Haiti where cat is the primary meal. It's kind of a fertility and prosperity ceremony that happens, and the meal is the central focus of it, and the meal is most definitely cat. And this is a documented fact. You can't cover up the truth. Haitians absolutely eat cats. Not to mention that in Haiti, the main religion in Haiti is voodoo. Voodoo requires blood sacrifice. Voodoo practitioners will sacrifice cats and dogs and chickens and ducks, domestic animals, whatever they can get their hands on for a blood sacrifice. So, do Haitians kill cats as part of voodoo ritual? Absolutely. Nobody in their right mind is going to tell you any difference. Haitians, if they're being honest, will tell you that. Now, the Haitians being interviewed down here in Springfield are saying, no, 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 we don't do that. No, no. Said the cat eater with cat on his breath. I'm sorry. Haitians do, in fact, eat cats. In fact, in Haiti, cat is seen as a preferable meat and a delicacy. That a lot of Haitians would prefer to eat cat over chicken or duck or goose or even beef. And part of this is that Haiti is an island nation. And yes, there is a poverty element to the practice of eating cats, but there's also an island element. There's been many stories down through history where cats have been introduced to small islands, and they're so prolific that they take over. And it's either eat cats or get eaten by cats on an island when cats go to take it over. See, cats are one of the most prolific producers of kittens, of offspring. They're right up there with rabbits. In fact, my sister, the one that passed away, this is what happens when highly intelligent people spend too much time thinking. But she had a theory that cat meat was actually the ultimate resource because cats don't need to be fed, they hunt. And they have so many offspring that if you had a large ranch and you ran free-ranging cats on it, harvesting them a couple of times a year, that you would actually produce more meat than a working cattle ranch with almost no overhead. And she believed that cat was the ultimate survival food if you could get past the idea of it. So, do Haitians eat cats? I think the proof is undeniable. Now, are they eating cats in Springfield? Well, we'll get to that in a moment. But, I have to say that there's a lot of cultural bias here. This is really a third world versus first world issues. Those of you who think it's absurd that Haitian immigrants might eat cats and dogs are really a victim of your own environment. You're a victim of your own culture, okay? I'll give you a cultural example from right here in the United States. I'm a deer hunter. I haven't done it in a long time because it's not as easy as people think. There's a lot to it. It's a lot of work. It's a younger man's gig. I can hunt if I have to, but I prefer to buy my meat down at the store because I'm getting too old for that, for all that work. But I'm a deer hunter. So when I'm driving through the Oklahoma woods and a deer crosses the road in front of me, I immediately think steak. I see that deer and I don't see Bambi. I don't see a cute little adorable deer. I just see dinner, right? I'm like, man, come crawl around on my property at deer season. I might just go ahead and take you for the, and do the work to get the meat. So deer to me don't look like pets. They don't look cute. They just look like food. I'm a little bit, when it comes to deer, like those old Warner Brother cartoons when the guys are marooned on an island and one of them starts looking at the other one and he suddenly turns into a chicken leg or a turkey leg. He's like, his buddy starts to look like a turkey leg. See, deer to me look like turkey legs, right? Now, if you took a New Yorker and brought him out here to Oklahoma and he saw a deer, he would be in awe. He'd be like, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, Bambi, right? But I don't see Bambi. I see meat because I'm a hunter. So Haitians have this history of eating cats. Part of it's in self-defense because cats will flat take over an island nation like Haiti and the Dominican Republic. But not only that, there's a cultural connection that goes way back with Haitians and cats. It's woven into their religion to eat cats and sacrifice them, dogs too. And the question is, do Haitians eat cats? Absolutely. Why would most leftists think that's absurd? Because they live in a bubble, right? They also don't understand that I eat deer meat. That when I see a rabbit, I don't go, cute little bunny. I'm like, where's my shotgun? I need to put that sucker in the pot. I got a rabbit in my freezer right now waiting to go in the pot. I better get it quick because it's from a while back. But yeah, there's a cultural bias. And when Trump said it, everyone just exploded with fake news. It's fake news. I've been following this story for weeks. Now, is it happening in Springfield? And the answer is absolutely yes, it's happening in Springfield. And the thing is that the cops are just not doing anything about it. They're not coming out to the reports of it. They don't see it as a big deal. They're not answering the calls of the people. People are calling the police. Today I saw a person talking about how one of his neighbors had two of his cats stolen by the neighbor that lives between them. So it's this guy's buddy, and then a house full of Haitians in between. And he says that not only did they steal his neighbor's cats and kill them for food, but that when they skinned them, they threw their skins, the cat skins, back over the fence into the guy's neighbor's yard as a, up yours. Not only did I kill your cat, here, you take the hide. And, but I don't think Haitians see that as a big deal. Now, the reports of cats and dogs are coming primarily just from the citizens. They're saying this is happening. I saw one woman interviewed that said she had the same cat for 9 years. It went up missing as soon as the Haitians showed up in their neighborhood, and that she's had to replace her cat 5 times. That their cats keep getting disappeared. Okay. We have some people that say they've seen them killing them and eating them and skinning them. We've had some people say they've done it to their pets and then gloated about it. And but it's essentially, this is a cultural issue. If you take third world people from struggling countries where eating a cat or a dog is how they've had to survive, that they grew up eating this kind of survival food, and then you bring them into this first world nation, they're not going to see your pet as a cute little kitty cat. They're going to see it as free food, right? It's cultural. Nothing against these people. There's a lot of people out there that thinks I'm an absolute raven maniac for eating deer meat and rabbits and squirrels. And, but it's my culture, right? I come from a long line of sustenance hunters, right? I'll tell you another thing. I eat poke salad, right? I eat wild onions. It's stuff that you guys don't even know exists that grows out there that you can eat. And it's because of my cultural background. Now, in Springfield, Ohio, we have a population of 50,000 people. And then they brought in, I won't say they brought them in, how 20,000 Haitians invaded a town of 50,000 in Ohio is quite an interesting story. And I kind of blame these, what are they, NGOs? These companies, these nonprofit companies that are trying to help immigrants. And so there were some manufacturing jobs that were, the owners of these factories were hard pressed to get their jobs filled. It's repetitive work. It's standing in an assembly line doing the same weld, the same 3-inch weld, time after time after time, hundreds of times a day. And there's not a lot of Americans that want to do that. And if they do, they want like $30 an hour. So these Haitians will come in, take those jobs, learn to make that weld, and stand there for hours for $10, $11, $12 an hour. And so when the word got out amongst the Haitian community that there was work in Springfield, Ohio, in some of these manufacturing plants, they started coming there because of work. Whether the word spread organically by word of mouth through the Haitian community in the United States, or whether there was some NGO employees of these nonprofits guiding them to these jobs in the small town of Springfield. But how we got here is interesting, but the fact is they are overrun. 30% of the population of Springfield now are Haitian immigrants, and it's causing a huge culture clash. Not just the fact that they're eating their pets, and not just the fact that so let's look at the duck ponds. Every little town's got a duck pond. The city buys domesticated ducks because you can't put wild ones in there. They'll fly south for the winter, right? They'll just leave. They go on about being wild. So you put domesticated ducks on these duck ponds so kids can feed them, and you can sit in the park and go, oh, aren't the ducks and the geese pretty? But they're domesticated farm animals that are purchased for your lawn ornament, right? Your lawn ornament in your park. And none of us would think about eating them. But to a Haitian, that's just free food. To an Asian, that's just free food. To be honest with you, to a Native American that's hungry, that's just free food. Right? To an Okie like me, I can claim being an Okie now because I've been here a while. But, to a country boy like me, if I was hungry, yeah, those ducks aren't safe. I'd eat them too. Right? I see all these video clips of people living in urban environments that are homeless. They're begging for money, begging for food, and meanwhile they're having to shoo the pigeons off of them. If I'm a homeless guy in New York City, I'm going to live good on pigeon. The British call it squab, but it's an edible bird that is everywhere in the urban environment. So this is a clash of cultures, but there's more to this story because the culture clash extends to other things. Haitians don't have driver's licenses for the most part. They don't do vehicle inspections. They drive cars with no plates, drive without licenses or insurance, because that's what they do in Haiti, right? In Haiti, you can drive a car if you can see over the steering wheel and you can get the thing started, right? So you've got a lot of auto accidents by Haitian immigrants who don't know how to drive. They don't know the rules of the road in the United States. They don't bother with insurance or licenses or even license plates on their cars. And a while back, a Haitian immigrant ran into a school bus full of children. He didn't have a driver's license. And the bus rolled over and a bunch of kids went to the hospital and were grievously injured and one child died. So what you're seeing is a real culture clash between these immigrants that are coming to Springfield, Ohio. And it's going to get worse because eventually they're going to get established. They're going to get on the city council. They're going to get on the police force. And you're going to see this town of Springfield, Ohio becoming a Haitian city. Little Haiti, little Port-au-Prince in America. Because when they come in mass like that, it's much easier for them to choose not to assimilate. Just keep doing their voodoo worship. Just keep eating cats. Just keep doing the criminal things that are criminal here but are daily life in a third world country. They're just going to keep living like they're in Port-au-Prince. And the same can be said for Venezuelans. I think most of America, when it comes to this election and who they're going to vote for, when it comes to our political leanings right now, I think we all just want a couple of things. We want a grocery cart full of groceries to cost $100 like it used to, not $385 or $400 like it does now, or $500, depending on what you put in it. That we want an end to this inflation and a return to normalcy in prices. And we want the Venezuelan migrant with the machete to get off of our lawn. Right? We've got these Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment complexes. We've got them running the streets. There's going to be an open gang war soon between American gangs and these Venezuelan gangs. And you've got incidences where out of their mind, shirtless Venezuelan men are climbing up the side of someone's house trying to get in, and they're armed with a machete, and a homeowner has to confront them with a firearm, a guy that keeps one in case of an emergency but isn't really a gun guy, just to protect his family, because this Venezuelan is trying to come in his house in broad daylight, right? And so we just really want this migrant crime to end. We want something to be done about the migrants that are here, whether it's forced assimilation, like, kill a cat, you get some prison time, right? If you want to do a ritual sacrifice on your front lawn, we're probably going to have a problem with it, If you're going to drive in America, have a license, right? Follow the rules, learn the rules and the laws of the road, right? Become a responsible driver. Or we're going to have to go with Donald Trump's plan and just send them all back to where they came from. Which is really sad for Haitians because they had a legit reason for getting the heck out of Haiti. Haiti is a mess, and cat eating ain't even the problem. It's the massive gangs and the corrupt police that are at each other's throats, and they're embroiled now still in an open civil war. And Haiti is and has been a mess, right? So I can understand why Haitians would want to get the heck out of that country. But allowing them to congregate in such large groups, especially when they make up their invasion of Springfield, Ohio, is causing them to be 30% of the population right now, roughly. And that's going to put a stress on, it's bringing third world problems to a first world country. And something has to be done about it. And denying that it's going on is just ludicrous. But you got to understand, to somebody like Kamala Harris or somebody who's lives in L.A. or New York or Chicago, the idea of anybody eating a cat is mind blowing. They would never do that. You know, I'm reminded of a news piece I saw, and I believe it was on 2020. It would have been in the late 1980s. And they were investigating a Chinese wet market, not unlike the wet market that was supposed to have been the source of the, right, from the bats they sell there. But this place had a table, and it was mounded up with cats that were skinned. They were skinned cats laying up there. That was horrifying enough. And the guy standing there talking about it, how that they, you know, cat is a delicacy in this country, and they sell this kind of exotic meat. It's not seen like a pet thing. And, you know, these cats are raised for meat. And right behind him on this table full of skinned cats, one of them picks his head up and goes, meow, and then the whole table starts moving. I was horrified. They weren't just cats that were skinned. They've been skinned alive for freshness. You know, they don't really have good refrigeration in those countries. So, you know, this whole thing of saying this doesn't exist, it absolutely exists. You know, and there's a cover-up to try to say that this is fake news. Haitians eat cats. Are the ones in Springfield, Ohio eating cats? More than likely, right? And I would like to hear the Springfield, Ohio animal control. Because I got a feeling since the 20,000 Haitians came into their city, that the animal control guy is probably like the old Maytag man commercials. He just sits around, drinks coffee, and reads the newspaper all day, right? That he probably hadn't been a call out on a stray dog in months, because stray dogs don't make it very far in this city full of Haitians. It's not racist. I don't care what color they are. They're just third world people with third world problems who have third world solutions to their problems that seem horrifying to Americans. But that doesn't mean it ain't happening, right? In fact, one could argue if you bring that many people from another country into your country, they're going to bring their traditions with them. They're not going to change, right? To assume that you could bring 20,000 Haitians into any American city and not have a rash of cat eating is insane to believe that to begin with. If they do it in Haiti, they're going to do it in Ohio, right? So cat eating is part of their voodoo culture. Cat killing, pet killing is for ritual purposes part of their culture. Those ducks and geese, they just saw them as free food. Just like your pet deer would be in danger if I was hungry. I'm probably gonna get your pet deer. Right? If you don't have a brand on it, if they're in a tag in its ear, if it ain't wearing a collar, I'm probably gonna go free game. Free food. Now, let's talk about some other issues here. You know, Kamala Harris, during that debate, was wearing a set of earrings that most of us would never have looked twice at. I didn't even notice that she had ears, much less earrings, right? I'm a dude. I ain't paying no attention to that. But some studious women noticed that she was wearing clip-on earrings, and they found that to be really weird since Kamala's ears are pierced. And, you know, that's a fashion faux pas to wear clip-on earrings unless you're over 70 or under 15, right? That clip-on earrings are not something that women of her age and prosperity typically wear. And so women noticed this, and it caused some men to go, well, why is that? Some other people, some internet savvy folks, and they found an online pair of covert earbuds that look like earrings. They look like pearl earrings. And it appears to be a match. I don't know if there's any truth to that story, that Kamala Harris was wearing earbuds disguised as earrings that are commonly available on the internet to be fed information, answers, replies during the debate, therefore cheating. But we know also now that an ABC whistleblower has come out and said that she received the questions ahead of the debate. So she was able to prepare, where Donald Trump just was hearing the questions for the first time. So that's cheating. Clearly, the two commentators, the two anchors that were overseeing this, were fact-checking Donald Trump and not fact-checking Kamala Harris. When she continued to tell these debunked lies, the one that says Donald Trump said there were good people on both sides, that is claiming that neo-Nazis and skinheads were good people. He never claimed that neo-Nazis and skinheads were good people. In fact, he said the opposite. I'm not talking about these KKK racist neo-Nazis. They need to be condemned. I'm talking about the rest of the people that were there, not those ones, right? Those ones are bad. They never play that. They just double down on this lie. And even though Snopes has debunked this along with, I mean, I was watching it live. I knew it was BS from the moment that they started saying this about Trump. But yet that lie is continued, right? And nobody fact checks her on it. There's another one, the bloodbath lie. Donald Trump used the word bloodbath as a economic adjective. And the quote is very close to this, if not precisely this. If I lose this election, there's going to be a bloodbath in the auto industry. That the way they're running this country is bankrupting the American auto industry. And if I don't win, the auto industry is going down. It'll be a bloodbath. But yet, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden will tell you that Donald Trump says if he loses the election, there's going to be a bloodbath in the streets. They're lies. Absolute lies. And yet these commentators, these two anchors, wouldn't even question her about them. Yet they'll tell you, there's no credible evidence that Haitians are eating cats in Springfield, Ohio. Okay, well, do Haitians eat cats in Haiti? Then why won't they eat cats in Springfield? Did they suddenly give up their taste for cat? This gaslighting by the left is maddening. It's driving some of us literally insane. The way they just look at you and lie to your face and gaslight you. So was Kamala wearing secret undercover clip-on earring earbuds so she could get help? Probably so. I don't need a lot of convincing for that, because we do know, according to an ABC whistleblower, she got the questions up front. We could all see with our own two eyes that those two commentators were biased against Donald Trump and were supporting and propping up. It was a 3-against-1 fight against Donald Trump. And the fact that he did as well as he did is pretty amazing. Now, there's another issue I want to talk about before I let you guys go on Political Soup today, cat-flavored Political Soup, is that there's a growing rash of gangs of young people. Don't know if they're migrants, don't know if they're native to the United States, or I don't know if they're U.S.-born citizens. I just know there's a rash of young men and women violently attacking old gray-haired people. There was a story recently in Seattle where a group of young people jumped on a man who was simply taking a picture of the sunset, a 72-year-old man in Seattle. He was beat down so bad by these people and left for dead that he lost a kidney. He had to have his ruptured kidney removed from being stomped while he was on the ground. In a recent story, I believe, I'm not sure what city this was in. It was further east somewhere. It might have been New York, where a group of young people attacked 3 men in their 50s, 60s, and 70s and beat them to a bloody pulp. And I mean, those were high school students, so these were young people. And I don't know what's going on in the world where young people feel like they can jump on somebody who's survived so much of this life, who has so much wisdom to share, who has made it through and proven that they're a true survivor, and you feel like you have the moral right to assault them. Even if they offended you, you still don't have the right to assault them. And I'm here to tell you, as an old gray-bearded guy, if anybody young, I don't care if you're young or old, if there's a group of people and they attack me, I don't care their gender, their race, their creed, their color, or their age. If they're able-bodied and they jump on me, I'm going to use deadly force to defend myself. You can't shoot an unarmed person. I sure can. And if there's 6 or 7 of them and they're trying to kill me with their bare hands, I better, you're just saying I can't stop the zombie horde from eating my brains? Right? I have a right to self-defense. This is a growing and alarming problem that's not being talked about. Elderly people are being targeted by young people and beat down. And I really blame Marxist programming. That if you know a thing or two about the Chinese Revolution, the Communist Revolution, if you know a thing or two about what happened in Cambodia with the Khmer Rouge, that it's a common practice to demonize older people, paint them as the problem because they're the patriarchy, and to convince young people to turn on their own parents and grandparents, Teach young people to be violent against old people because old people are the problem. And I really think that's the mindset. I blame the social media programming and the leftist agenda for this. But if you got gray hair, you better sleep with one eye open. And even if you're in public in broad daylight, you could be attacked. So we need the Second Amendment more than ever. We need the right to keep and bear arms more than ever. Old people, you probably ought to start packing because you might be pretty tough. You might still have it going on as I do, but against 7, 8, 9, 10 people of any age or size or race or gender, is what I meant to say, gender, yeah, you're probably going to get your brains beat in. So, heads up. That's one of the trends that I am currently seeing. So, I hope you enjoyed today's cat-flavored political soup. Yummy. We'll see you next time because I will continue broadcasting from my cabin down by the creek.